Hey y'all, Travis from Manready Mercantile here, and tonight I'm going to show you how to make a ribeye. So here we go, let's dig in. Alright y'all, let's talk about picking out your steak. First off, I picked out this guy tonight. It's got a small bone-in ribeye here, and I like this one because it's got a lot of marbling throughout it. A lot of people are scared of that, but you really need that on one of these steaks because it creates so much amazing flavor, and you're going to hit it with a lot of heat and it's going to break down all those enzymes and just add a lot of flavor to it. So don't be scared of a lot of marbling, as that's really what you're looking for. Well, now that we've got our steak picked out, let's talk about the spice tonight. This is one of our products that we manufacture here in Houston, and we call it our pinch and throw spice. And the whole idea is you can add one pinch to each side of your meat, and it has everything you need and nothing that you don't. I put it in a little dish like this. Couldn't make it any easier. We also sell this in a refill size, which is this big bag, and we sell it in a small little kind of a travel size, if you will, that's great for, you know, hunting, fishing, camping, any trips or anything like that. You're gonna be staying over in a place where you're gonna be cooking. This stuff is absolutely amazing. I'm gonna show you what it's all about right here. Also, I put a little olive oil on each side of this steak. Now I'm gonna add a pretty generous pinch of our all-in-one pinch and throw spice. But you can see all those big granules of coarse ground kosher salt and black pepper and all the good stuff. It's as easy as that. Don't worry, you're not gonna overdo it. We got a cast iron pan on the stove, and we got that thing cranked up high. What I'm looking for is for that thing to get scorching hot, and I can kind of see it start steaming. I'll put my hand over the top of it like this, and when it gets a little bit uncomfortable, that's when you know you're ready to go. Typically what I'll do is I'll add a little bit more, more olive oil, and then we'll throw our steak in. Well, that's coming up to a really hot temperature. Couple things. First of all, whenever you bring that steak home, don't throw it on the grill or on the stove whenever it's cold. Let that thing come up to room temperature for at least 30 minutes, and what you'll find is you'll get a little bit better bark and crust on there instead of like a gray sort of uneventful steak, if you will. That bark and that crust is really what you're looking for. So what I did with mine, came up to room temperature about 30 minutes. I added a little olive oil on each side of the steak, and then our pinch and throw spice on each side, so we got all that flavor locked in there. Let's get this thing on this pan. I'm hungry. All right, y'all can probably see how that's steaming. I'm gonna add a little bit more olive oil. I'm working with one hand here, so it's a little awkward for me. But what I'm gonna do is swirl that around just a little bit. I'm gonna throw our steak on, and I like to do it away from me so you don't get any splatter up on you. When you put this thing on there, don't touch it. Let it do its thing. We're gonna probably look for about 3 minutes on there. This is pretty thick steak, and I'm going for medium rare, so we wanna keep an eye on that heat and make sure it's digging in there real good and building up that bark and that crust. Also, I added a little bit of room temperature butter to it. I'm gonna pick up that steak just for a second, let it get underneath there, and that's gonna help build up that char as well. Give this thing a flip in about another minute. Let's flip this thing over, see what we're working with. Look at that char there. That right there is gonna be amazing. Might even throw a little bit more butter in there. Get this thing rocking. All right, let's check the back side of this thing. Look at that crust on there. What I like to do is go ahead and throw it in the oven. I've got it on at 425. We're gonna leave it in there for a couple minutes and kind of finish everything off, make sure all that fat and everything's rendered down real good. We took that thing out of the pan immediately and threw it on the cutting board, and we're gonna let that thing rest for about 10 minutes, and we're not gonna even dare touch that steak. We're not gonna cut into it to test it or anything, because what happens is those juices need to be able to take the time to redistribute and kind of do their thing and settle back in. If you go to cut into it right now, no matter how well how well done it's cooked, it's going to look bloody. So it's going to be very misleading. So don't ever cut into that steak immediately. So I cut into this dude after I let it rest. We're going to take a look here. So this is just absolutely phenomenal. Nice bark on the outside. This thing's juicy as could be. We hit it with a lot of heat, so it broke down all this fat, so it doesn't feel like gristly, if you will. So this stuff's just like butter. That's just full of flavor, and that's how I do it. So, if you guys want to cook some significant other and not worry, about doing anything crazy or whatnot, this couldn't be any easier. As you can tell, you're only touching the thing a couple times and just letting the pan do all the work. That's how we do it here. So y'all enjoy date night, and y'all stay in touch with me. Post some pictures on social media and tag us in it so I can see how it turned out. See y'all soon.